From comedyfilmnerds.com with Graham Elwood,
The Floating Forest of Pandora. Ever heard of it?
and Chris Mancini.
What clan are you from?
This is the Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
It's not that great.
This is not the ninja movie I signed up for.
Cousin Eddie's package.
Why can't this happen?
I got nothing going on.
Oh, it's Christmas time.
It just got colder here in the valley.
Oh, wow. Is that Santa coming down our gargoyle chimney?
We're Santa bringing more gargoyles for the chimney.
I so feel like we're doing bad morning radio when I have this. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you finally got a chance to use it.
coffee and jam jabs Christmas party at Toyota of Glendale. Hello, welcome to a special holiday-themed episode.
Very excited. We've been wanting to talk about Christmas movies for an entire year.
One
Now we
whole
finally
year.
get to do
We
it.
get to do it. We're ready to go. It's beautiful Thanksgiving week.
But you know what's also more important than Christmas movies? The Christmas shopping season.
Sure, it is the Christmas shopping season.
Online. It's very important.
Wow, folks, you should start your Black Friday with us at
Yes.
Comedy Film Nerds. And one of our hot ticket items.
Is on Black Thursday, which means you get a day early. to
So
shop.
Thanksgiving Day is
Yes,
now
it's
Black.
really, you
go
should, after
shop-
you eat, just get online. You want to beat the rush on the internet.
The internet rush. You don't
Yes.
want to be stuck in the traffic of the internet from your home.
Yeah, what happens if you your router goes down on Friday? Then you're like, oh, I should have shopped on Thursday.
Yeah. This is insane.
Yes. The downloads will run out by the time I get there.
The digital downloads will be gone. I'll be fighting for them in some sort of cyber cage match. It'll be horrifying. Well, let's bring our guest on.
Yeah, I think we should.
I think we should bring our guest on. This is his third or fourth time on the show.
Always a treat.
Always a treat. Say that more sarcastically. This guy's such a treat. What a joy.
Well, there you did it.
I think the last time fans heard him was in Bridgetown. So let's
Yeah, the
welcome him
Portland Comedy Festival live.
live in front of a live audience. Now we're back in a garage with, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Benson.
Hey, everybody. And all the ships at
And
sea.
all the
all
ships
the
at
ships at
sea.
sea.
A lot of ships at sea. We're talking this to the Navy.
It's great to be back on a generic episode celebrating the holidays.
Yeah.
Because you know how much I love them. Why would you know that? Why would anyone know that?
We do now. No, just sharing a little bit. This
Well,
is
you
great.
like seeing movies on Christmas Day. I know that.
I see a movie on Christmas Day every year. Unfortunately, it's with my mother usually. So I end up having to see, like last year, I believe it was Burlesque.
Oh, nice. Well, you got your own screening, at least, probably.
There were people there.
Really?
Yeah. Jews. No, there's
A lot of other people with their mothers there.
Yeah.
people go, that's a thing families, I know my family's done it my entire life, go to movies on Christmas Day because, you open up all the crap and play with it for a while. And
Then you're ready to go.
ready to go. Because the kids, what time do the kids get up usually? Like Christmas Day, they're up hella early.
Yeah. We're done by,
Everybody's
6 or 7
ready
at
for
night.
a movie by
Yep.
like 11 a.m.
Yeah, we saw Sherlock Holmes last year.
I
on
see a movie
Christmas.
every year,
Yeah.
too. I remember one time, what did I see last year? I can't remember, but I know it was 2 years ago I saw Benjamin Button.
The trick is to go early, though,
Yeah.
to go to the first showings because it just piles up as the day goes on. And then at night, it's just every teenager has nothing better to do. So they're all there.
One time you and I worked Vegas together over Christmas.
Well, I love doing that. For a few years, I did Vegas over Christmas because there's plenty of people to put on shows on Christmas Eve and Christmas night. And I like that. I don't like taking the break just because somebody was born.
Yeah.
People born every day. Why do we make a big deal?
Yeah, this whole
We got to shut everything down.
Yeah, there's no reason entertainment shouldn't stop, and that's why movies don't stop.
No.
That's why you can even watch a movie on Thanksgiving as well. Like me and my friends would go to like a 10 p.m. movie or something on Thanksgiving.
Well, when my dad, when he was a kid, his parents would send him out of the house because they're the kitchen. You know, they'd be trying to cook this giant
Yeah.
meal. Be like, just get out of the house. Go to it.
They're actually big movie days.
Yeah, they are.
Adults are asleep at like 5 p.m. too, or whenever the last
Yeah.
football game ends on that day. I mean, there's a night game too.
When the tryptophan kicks in,
Yeah.
that's it. All
They
right,
hit
done.
the lazy boy and fuck off for the rest of the night. So
Yeah, go fuck off and your lazy boy.
So me and my friends would always go see movies. So yeah, the holidays are, in general, December for me, I don't really get caught up in the shopping and all that stuff because I don't, I only have a few people that I'd even consider buying Christmas presents for, and they know that I probably won't get them anything, so they don't get me
So
anything.
you're off the hook.
Yeah, we're even. So I'm off the hook for all that stuff. So I'm a little less busy.
What about Christmas cards?
I used to, but not even those anymore. I used to make like personal ones, like take a picture of something stupid, me doing something stupid, and then go to a printer and all that nonsense. But no, not even that anymore. Maybe I'll tweet about it.
little
I'll send
Christmas
somebody a
tweet.
Christmas tweet. But happy Christmas, everybody. That takes care. If you're not, if you know me and you're not following me on Twitter, then I don't know you. And so I don't have that much to do around the holidays other than go to movies and especially catch up on all the stuff that's going to be Oscar candidates.
Yeah, that's what I love. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about Christmas movies, but I do love December because I just see every single Oscar possibility that's coming. I love that. I love just seeing every great movie.
The good thing too is if you're in LA or New York, you get a lot more movies that don't hit the rest of the country because they're trying to get qualifications for Academy Awards. So you get these early releases that
I think we got Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges like in the last week of December to get it in for qualifying, and then it didn't really open until January.
And sometimes they really do it to the letter of the rules. It's like, okay, well, it needs to play for 3 days in one theater, and that's literally what it does. 3 days, one theater, then it gets pulled.
Well, what was that? God, I forget the name of that movie with. This is horrible. The kid who, God, now I'm blanking on the whole thing. There are the guys.
Yeah, what do you know about
Woody
it?
Harrelson?
Okay,
and
he's in it, and a kid.
The Messenger?
The Messenger. Yes, I remember the Messenger. Thank you.
Oh, I love that little boy in the Messenger. That kid.
Yeah,
the way
just,
he's walking around.
It was just like a perfect world. He was in his underwear.
He's like
He was
4
playing
years
around.
old and
Telling people
Woody's showing him how to tell people that people have died.
Yeah, that's the Messenger. I forget that actor's name, but that last year was in the theaters in LA for like a day or two.
Foster.
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster, yes, Ben Foster, great movie. So I'm looking forward to that. And then you and I have a show December 26th.
Oh, day after Christmas.
I might be in Kuwait. Whoops.
Oh, that's
Shouldn't have
Well, you'll
noticed that.
still have a show.
Yeah, you'll have a show one way or the other. But if you're in the California area, there'll be a show at the Irvine Improv.
December 26th. We've done that the last couple of years, the day after Christmas at Irvine. That's
Yeah,
fun.
it's a
Probably
great,
packed.
it's perfect. It's perfect. Again, day after Christmas. What are you going to do? You're in Orange County. Come see a comedy show.
Yeah, big Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
You could have stopped that sentence after you're in Orange County.
It's just,
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
County.
You're in Orange County.
I mean, yeah.
Click and
They should. All of my shows down there should be full, regardless of the time of year. But I like doing. I also like keeping it in California for the winter months as sort of my touring strategy.
it's a fine one at that.
Now, when we do holiday movies, and especially Christmas movies, it seemed like there was a like the 50s and 40s. There was really it was like an event. The studios would make like a holiday or Christmas movie. Now you don't see as many now holiday and Christmas movies. I mean, they're more like if you get one, it's like more family skewed. You don't get like
It's either real family or real like joke. It's a comedy,
Right,
Like
right.
just a straight up holiday movie. They seem to be more now. They come out on TV or something. Like they're not
right. And
Yeah, they got into that mode. I think sort of Tim Allen's kind of responsible with the
Yes,
first
the Santa
Santa Claus of kind of setting up, and then several sequels to that, and then setting up this and Christmas Vacation's probably responsible as well of the wacky comedy that gets a little might get a little naughty but is mostly nice.
those movies got more and more watered down as the sequels progressed.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
This is why we hate the holidays and all the shitty things about
Well,
them.
let's-
But
let's-
then we all learn that we love them.
Yeah, and so there's a real streak of bad ones like Let's Hear It for the Clumps. and
nice
or whatever
one.
that was
No.
called. That's not what it was
But
called.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And there was one I think with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito called Deck the Halls.
Yeah.
maybe. But
Even
this
Arnold
year,
Schwarzenegger did one with Sinbad. Jingle All the
Jingle
Way.
All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Yes, Jingle All the Way is a
Classic.
kind of a weird classic. It has its moments, but this year I'm semi excited about the Harold and Kumar Christmas in 3D
Why is that?
because I'm not a huge fan of the first two Harold and Kumars, but this one looks like between kind of mocking the 3D craze, which I'm all for.
And it ups the stakes.
Yeah, and really centering in the Neil Patrick Harris as a complete drugged out sexual deviant. Like that aspect of the Harold Kumar movies is probably my favorite part of them. And I'm sure we're gonna see some lady with big tits and a dong or whatever. What does it say at the beginning of the trailer? It says strong, crude, and sexual content, graphic nudity, pervasive language, drug use, and some violence.
Actually, that could be the trailer. Just show that warning and get
That's
people
all they
to see
gotta
it.
do.
Yeah.
But instead, they show that warning, and I sat there. I was watching a movie last night where they showed the trailer, and I read that warning, and then it was like this Christmas, especially that gag they cannot let go of in the world of trailer making, where it has to start off serious, and then suddenly, turns out it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Boy, did we trick you. They never trick you. You're always like, I'm pretty sure it's a comedy. But in this case, I was like, damn sure it was Harold and Kumar, because what other movies out there have all that stuff in them?
Holiday movies, family Christmas movies have crude language and nudity.
But that the combination of things in this movie, like if it wasn't a comedy, it would get an X.
Zuzu's pedals.
If a
Suck
serious
it.
movie had all this stuff in it,
Yeah.
even Schindler's List didn't have pervasive language.
Well, not in the cut you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know what the first MPAA version was. But now that's interesting. And it seems like those are the more successful new movies for Christmas movies, like comedies, like Elf. Elf.
People
really,
love Elf.
Elf was the movie that I really liked. Elf too.
I do too.
And it was the kind of movie that
I haven't
finally-
seen Elf 2.
Yeah. Did they make another one?
No, if they did, it would be like, who would be the terrible casting to replace Will
Ashton
Ferrell?
Kutcher as the
I love Ashton Kutcher.
Kutcher.
He's my
Whatever
favorite.
his name is. You know who I meant.
But that'd be great if somebody came along with that name and they just tried to trick people.
Yeah. Then they just we're not going to show you the trailer. Just we're putting his name on the
Kinda looks
poster.
like him.
Yeah.
That's not Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, we said Kutcher.
Kutcher.
Yeah. Pay
Listen.
attention.
Listen.
That's not our fault. But that was the kind of movie where it was like a fun movie that a family could watch and it didn't bore you to death. It was actually funny and heartfelt. It was a good Christmas movie.
I like that film a lot, and I really.
There was no Santa Claus.
There was no Santa Claus. I mean, like
with the Tim Allen stuff. That's like, okay, well, if you're over 12, you're not going to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
That kind of, they're just made specifically for
And
kids.
I thought that there was a lot of great jokes about Will Ferrell, who'd grown up, on the North Pole, had no idea what regular system. I mean, like,
with regular society,
that
was
stuff
like,
was funny. I thought that was. And
James Caan, one of the most hilarious actors of all time.
Yeah.
Always just a riot to watch work and in talk show appearances. And then he gave that gift to his son Scott. It runs in the family. They're just the most hilarious actors with the most amazing head of hair.
Well, the great thing about James Caan is he just always plays the mean dick guy.
You mean he plays James Caan?
He plays James Caan.
Yeah.
the
He
guy who
seems
wrote-
so uncomfortable in Elf. I mean, I know that's part of his character is to find Will Ferrell uncomfortable, but he doesn't even seem to. Maybe he had a good time making that movie.
Well, it's like Ed Harris. He's like the most serious guy ever. You hear notes on set where like he's just completely humorless and like, well, he's in a comedy. It's not going to work.
There's some crazy movie now. I can't think of what it is coming out where Ed Harris is like a villain in it, and he looks like he's really lost. Like he's like the machinist or something.
Really?
Like he looks
Oh, I don't
really
know.
sick.
Is it a
like
Christmas
really
movie?
Thin, sick, and crazy. Maybe he lost the weight because it would look cool as a villain, or maybe something's going on. I don't know, but
Now, what are some other modern ones? Like, I actually really liked Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's hilarious.
which I thought was really good. I thought it was really dark, but it wasn't that kind of dark, like, haha, look how dark we're being. It was funny. It was really funny and a really good movie.
The storytelling's kind of inconsistent with it, but anytime
you forgive it.
Anytime you have Tony Cox, that black, I don't want to say the
Little
person, that BLP.
You know me.
Whenever you have that guy and he's swearing and punching Billy Bob Thornton in the balls, that's cinema doesn't get any better than that.
That movie,
John Ritter was really funny.
John
in that movie
Ritter was
too.
great in that,
Yeah.
and he's like oh God,
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac was
really
amazing. Where John Ritter's trying to explain to him he was in the big and tall section, fornicating. Like the way he's talking about it. And Bernie Mac, that one scene where he's peeling the orange and he's trying to hustle him, and then all those lines like oh, you sick motherfucker! Last time I didn't shit right for a week.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And what's her name? Kelly Graham.
Heather Graham.
Heather
No,
Graham?
not Heather Graham.
Sandy Graham?
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Lauren Graham.
Lauren Graham.
Lauren
Lauren Graham and Ben Foster, that kid.
Yeah.
I mean, and the stuff.
And the Messagist.
The little kid.
the messages. No, but the little kid's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? Merman? Its name rhymes. Thurman Merman or something like that.
Merman. Ethel Merman.
It is. It's something like that. Can you IMDb
It's
that?
become the name game now.
IMDb that for me because IMDb.
But when they're in the car and like the kid's talking and he's just looking at him, are you fucking with me? He's just doing the kid. Are you
that
fucking
is
with
really.
me?
That's one of the funniest things ever. His reaction.
Because you buy Billy Bob Thornton, you're like you buy his performance.
Yeah.
They've tried so hard to keep doing that with Billy Bob Thornton, though, and it's just like I wish it was just that isolated, like because he's such a great actor and he's always good in everything. But then there's Mr. Woodcock and School for Scoundrels. It's like, oh, he's just going to be the guy that's super abusive and rude, and then in one of those cases, School for Scoundrels, I think they went PG-13. Why? Why try to replicate the success of Bad Santa? I mean, I don't even know if Bad Santa made much money, but
The
people
kid's name
certainly
is
love
Brett
it.
Kelly.
But what's the name of the character?
They just call him the kid.
Oh man.
Maybe you added a name
That's a
when you were
bummer.
watching the movie.
His name is really like Thurman. That's one of the things where he's like, "Are you fucking kid?" Like Billy
Oh, his
Bob makes
name,
fun
right.
of his
Yeah.
name because it's like his name is Thurman Merman or something like that.
So
It's really stupid, and
Everyone
we'll all
watch the
get
movie again.
angry tweets.
yeah, we'll all get tweets.
Put this on the message boards. The Thurman Merman names. All the names that we can't remember on today's episode.
And the other one we're talking about that was a comedy that I think we all like was Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh, I love Scrooge. I just, to me, like, that's Bill Murray is so great in it.
As Bill Murray.
As Bill Murray, just playing Bill Murray. And then all the other.
And Buster Poindexter didn't annoy me in that movie.
John Forsythe. I love.
He was a
John.
cab driver.
Yeah, he can't. His mere presence in anything annoys me. But
I mean, Brian Doyle Murray and the flashback scene where he's like, "Oh, I can't work. I'm only 9." He's playing Bill Murray's dad. I everything about that movie I love. It's a Wonderful Life.
I think all these movies you guys have mentioned so far that you have such passion for, it'd be interesting. Like, I guess Bad Santa would really hold up, but these other ones, like, I think part of what we love about them is that they show up on TV every year,
Yeah.
and you don't watch it transfixed. You don't sit there and watch it from beginning to end. You just appreciate what you like about it and that it's on.
Or A Christmas Story.
Yeah, well,
that-
Christmas Story is a great example of a movie I've never really liked and have never grown really that passionate about, but people love it.
And it's on what? It'll be
It's
shown
wallpaper,
24 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
They show it all day and night, and I'll maybe watch a few minutes of it. That narrator on that movie, that voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me.
And that's the actual writer. From the book.
Yeah. I hate narration in most movies, but in that particular case, that drives me crazy. That narration, but it does have some cute, funny stuff in there. And Darren McGavin is an amazing actor, and he's very funny in it. And it's funny, the Harold and Kumar movie has a kind of a parody scene of Christmas Story, while they actually name drop Christmas Story because Harold's dick gets stuck to a pole instead of
in the trailer.
instead of his mouth. Yeah, so that's going to be neat to see.
That's strong. That's considered strong language or pervasive language.
No,
Having
that's
your dick-
some violence.
Yeah, that might be some violence, depending on how he's, depending on how he gets off.
That scene's definitely drug use and some violence.
Yes,
because drug use would lead to you trying to stick your dick to a pole.
I like It's a Wonderful Life. The scene in there where he says Zuzu's Pedals, quick piece of trivia. My eldest sister was in a all-girl punk band in the 80s and 90s called Zuzu's Pedals. There's a book about it called
Nice.
Pedal Pushers if you want to read up about it.
About the band or the movie?
About the band. About the movie. Yes, it's a great, it has nothing to do with the band. No, it's called Pedal Pushers. It's a really cool book.
I think there's a character in something else.
I'm going to say right now,
Pedals.
A Wonderful Life,
Yes.
overrated.
Zuzu's Pedal was in a Dice Clay movie. Ford Fairlane. One
Oh,
of the,
God.
Adventures of. That's why I couldn't remember what movie it was from.
One of the worst.
Zuzu Pedals. Hey, what kind of name?
One of the worst movies ever
Can't
made.
kill the koala. Boo!
That's an example of a movie where I haven't seen it in forever, but when it came out and for a while after that, I enjoyed, I think parts of it are entertaining. Like,
Right.
I really think that guy could have had a real, actual, decent career as a comedic actor, and, you know, whatever he did screwed it up, but...
Yeah.
I think that.
I think he's
I think it was that movie.
But I think part of the reason he became so huge is there's something very entertaining about what he does. You know what I mean? Like you look at like Borat and how people did impressions of him. Like that, everyone thought, oh, Borat, that's genius. But Andrew Dice Clay was playing sort of a character he idolized Jerry Lewis. Like the whole kind of like thing of having your own noises that you make can be very
Well, he was
engaging.
also, but he acted for a long time too. Andrew Dice Clay. He was on a TV show for a while.
He was on that
Crime Story.
Crime Story, and then he was in a movie called Casual Sex. It was supposed to be about Victoria Jackson and what's her name from the Back to the Future movies, and then it ended
Leah
up-
Thompson?
Yeah, and they were like two girls that go to a sex island or whatever, and sandals, and
All inclusive.
yeah,
Yes.
and he was like just the fat schlubby guy who had acted tough but had trouble getting the girl or whatever in that movie, and he kind of steals that movie.
Oh, yeah. Because he's sitting there doing sit-ups going, gadoosh, gadoosh, and gadoosh. You know what I mean? He's got like a chicken that he's going to cook, and he's like going, gadoosh, gadoosh with the chicken. Like, that's when he first came on the scene. I was like, oh, this guy could be really funny. And I agree with you, Doug. And if you go...
He was selling out stadiums.
He became...
Well, that part of the problem there was it was the dirty limericks or
Yeah,
dirty
right.
nursery rhymes that people loved, and that was when things went to shit. Because he also in his normal act before the nursery rhymes sort of took over, he did really good impressions.
He did Al Pacino, Robert
Travolta.
and Robert De Niro at a camping trip. It was hilarious. It was it was like
Are you sure they weren't in an elevator?
He was like, what if they were at a camping trip and he's like doing it? He's like, and he does the whole, you talking to me? And he did it spot on. He goes, I'm dying over here from Dog Day Afternoon. Like, who's doing Pacino from Dog Day Afternoon? But he did that thing that happened in the 80s where a lot of comics that had happened to Bobcat and Emo, funny comics who got tied down by their stage character too much. Like they painted themselves into this corner. They had this really quick rise and then couldn't get out of it. Couldn't ever leave it. Like
That's what people always want.
right.
That's why it's
Like
safer
Bobcat
to-
got stuck in the Police Academy movies.
Yeah, but also he kind of had to do the screaming thing and had to do. Even though he's very smart and very political, he still has to keep it something that the fans year after year that love Police Academy movies. Because if you cling to loving those movies, you're probably functionally illiterate or something. Because they're terrible. Those movies are terrible. I mean, he stood out in
they
them
have a
because he had that funny character.
Did they have a Christmas?
He's in Scrooge too,
Yeah. Oh,
Bobcat.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's one of those guys that like people knew he was really funny and gave him lots of opportunities, but it was just now he's a film director. He's making great movies.
A fantastic movie. Did Man of the Year, Father of the Year.
Yeah, and he's got a
which is
new
great.
one that I did not get to see at the last festival that I was at, but it's got lots of good buzz.
He's
It's called
super-
God Bless America or something like
He's
that.
insanely smart and funny.
Yeah, and it started with Shakes the Clown was the
Yeah.
first one he made.
And when you
With Tom Kenny. Just guy dressed
Tom
as the clown,
Kenny's
just going-
amazing in that movie.
Yeah, just going, I'm an asshole.
He's always punching people in the balls.
Yeah.
Looks really scary with that makeup on.
He does.
He
Totally does.
Heath Ledger probably watched that
Yeah.
That was his
to prepare. Because Tom Kenny is truly brilliant in that movie. The movie's, again, it's got some really funny parts, but it's a little uneven.
It's a first attempt. at
But
a
yeah,
feature.
and
But
it-
yeah, he was really good.
But Tom Kenny's amazing in it, and I think that parents should show it to their children and say, "Look, it's SpongeBob."
Yeah.
Really freak them out.
Yeah. Well, you know what I wanted to talk about too, because this movie made $1 billion and it was horrible. Home Alone. This was like almost like a that kind of movie that like it made a fortune. It was like, oh no, this is the big Christmas movie. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. It's just a dumb movie with adults getting hit in the head
and the dick and everything else.
Yeah.
Like I remember it's one of those movies I haven't seen since it came out, and I remember kind of liking it, but I would almost be assured that it doesn't hold up. There's no way that movie can.
Oh, it was that the whole era of Chris Columbus movies. Like, I'm going to make a lot of money, but they're not going to be good, and that era is still going on today.
That's his whole career. But
Yeah,
but I think that in the case of Home Alone, I think that you got to give Macaulay Culkin the lion's share of the credit. That kid was adorable.
Yeah.
And he was a really good actor.
he sold it.
He was great in Uncle Buck. Like
Yeah,
really charming and funny in Uncle Buck, and then they gave him his own movie. I remember when I saw the trailer for Home Alone and just saw the premise and the fact that it was that kid, and I was completely on board. And then it's just scene after scene of the paint cans in the face and Pesci and Daniel Stern. And lots of actors since then, with things like Baby's Day Out and Run Spot Run, and like every other movie for kids these days, there's two or three adult actors
Getting hit
who are the bad
somewhere,
guys,
yeah.
who have to just repeatedly get like in such violent ways that because there's no bloodshed, it's a family movie,
Right.
But if one of those paint cans gouged open their head or knocked their head off, it would be an R-rated movie,
Right.
And that's what would actually happen.
Exactly. If you got hit with a paint can swinging like 5 to 10 miles an hour, it would cave in your face.
Well,
you would lose teeth.
And why aren't they doing that on Walking Dead? Why aren't they?
They don't have
Why
any.
are they tying up paint cans?
They don't have
standing
any
at the
paint
top
cans.
Of the stairs?
Yeah. That's the problem. There's not enough paint in the apocalyptic world.
FYI, guys, this is how to take care of zombies in Atlanta.
Just go to the paint store, load up,
Yeah,
Take care of some
live in a couple story walk up
Right.
and hide your ladders.
with a narrow stairway, so that only two zombies can get up at a time.
And have a samurai sword for backup.
Never is that bad.
But then
That's your first response.
But I love things like where they can go.
Well, it's a cartoon. I mean, they shoot them like it's a Warner
it was
Brothers
totally-
cartoon.
it was a cartoon.
Like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, they tried that with The Villain with Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger, directed by Hal Needham of Smokey the Bandit fame, and it is one of the most horrible movies ever made, where they quite literally just recreate Wile E. Coyote scenarios, but with human beings.
Well, that's one of the worst
Did you
westerns
see
ever
Kindergarten Cop?
Worst anything ever made.
Yeah, it's
it
Margaret's
probably
in it.
ended Hal Needham's directing career.
Yeah,
Because he made Smokey the Bandit, Hooper. Those are good
yeah
in their own way, in their own weird way.
Hooper for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely movies directed by a stuntman. But then the Villain, seriously, check out The Villain if you want to see, like, it doesn't get any worse.
Now, what about classic movies? I know we talked about It's a Wonderful Life. I personally find this movie too long and overrated, but I know it's like a staple. Now, do you guys have your favorite kind of classic Christmas movies?
Well, I love the original Grinch Stole Christmas because it was directed by Chuck Jones. I love Chuck Jones.
Great movie.
And it's definitely
Except that it's a TV show. Other than that,
great movie.
It's 22
on
minutes
here.
long.
Yeah.
But no, that is that thing is perfect the way it is. That's the new one with Jim Carrey, and
That was an abomination.
that made me so unhappy.
Yeah, any of those full length Dr. Seuss adaptations have just not hit
Right,
the
but
mark
that
at
one
all.
was pure evil. That one was like,
I don't know.
They had a fucking key party in the Who's have a key party in Grinch Stole Christmas, the Ron Howard
I don't
version.
remember that scene.
There's a bowl and they throw their keys into it at the party.
Oh, wow.
It's subtle, but it's there. And through the whole movie, the Who's are assholes.
Oh, that I remember.
They're
yeah.
detestable assholes.
But what about
and the Grinch teaches them the true meaning of Christmas as opposed to them teaching him.
my God.
It is brilliant. brutal.
But now, is it worse than Cat in the Hat? Because that was a disgrace.
Well, Cat in the Hat is just like not even worth discussing.
I thought that the last, Cat in the Hat should have ended.
Oh yeah, he'll have a Bronx accent.
Yeah. That should have ended with a shot in a graveyard and Dr. Seuss turning over in his grave. That's how that movie should have ended.
I don't think I think that Horton Hears a Who and the upcoming Lorax movie would be. I think Dr. Seuss himself, Theodore Geisel or whatever his name was, I think he'd be perfectly happy with those. Those are okay.
Well, I think he'd be more happy with an animated film because that was be closer to what he was trying to accomplish. But I don't know. I saw the trailer for the Lorax. We'll see.
It doesn't look good.
We'll see.
Well, you're gonna have to see it.
I know.
You're the one saddled with having to watch movies for kids.
But now, how about a movie?
You can give me the heads up, and I'll skip it.
Because I'll be there Friday.
Or I'll watch it on a plane, of course.
Now, what about like A Christmas Carol, the Scrooge one, 1951, or Miracle on 34th Street?
I think those, again, go back to kind of what we were saying at the top of the show, which is that was in that era of making these sort of warm, touchy, family Christmas movies
that everyone could watch. Though, not like, oh, this is a kid's Christmas movie.
It wasn't jokey, it wasn't wacky, it wasn't key party jokes or whatever. Even like we talked about Scrooged. While I like that, that's definitely a comedy and everything. And I think this is sort of the classic. It's Miracle on 34th Street is black and white and everything like that. And
yeah, well, remember that stretch of time where black and white was everyone thought it was just evil and that young people couldn't possibly, and they did. They colorized It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. Lots of classics got colorized. And now I think they're sort of back. They're back. Like now, now because of the proliferation of cable. No network has to kowtow to the stupid ideas like that, and they can just show the black and white version, and they do.
Plus, too, like with DVDs and Netflix and all that stuff, you've got younger people going back and watching older movies and seeing that a black and white film is when it's shot, when it's meant to be that way. That's why colorization was so horrifying, because the way it was shot, the lighting and everything was done for black and white.
Specifically for black and white. No one went to the DP.
So colored
now, no one went to the DP. Now, I know you're shooting this in black and white, but keep in mind, 10 years from now, or 20, 30 years from now,
Ted Turner's going to flip his fucking
be in color.
wig.
So just, change the f-stop to prepare for that.
Yeah. Let's use different lighting.
Yeah. Get your gaffer over here.
So that's all coming back.
It's bizarre. It's such a bizarre, like, how can we make more money off of this thing that's perfect the way it is? How can we fuck it up?
Come on. People like it, but I think they'd like it better if.
No.
I think there was at one point, there was a letter like written by Steven Spielberg and signed by Coppola and everybody about how what a horrible thing colorization. I don't know about that. Colorization is. They all wrote a letter to somewhere to stop it, and George Lucas's name was on there, and he's colorizing his own fucking movies now.
He's off his
board. The changes he's making are the same. I have the same complaint that the movie should just exist how it is, and then you go make some other.
I really want to do this, or is I just need to sell more copies? I'm gonna.
I don't think he does it to sell more. I think he does it because he just wants to. He wants to do things that he couldn't do the first time around. Like that whole nonsense. That whole nonsense with adding that scene with Jabba the Hutt into the first Star Wars that only repeats a bunch of information you've already heard other characters say in other scenes because that scene didn't make it the first time.
Right.
And that information was important, but we don't need to hear it twice. Like it was just to show off and be like, look, I can put Jabba the Hutt in here now.
I think it was also to show off just the effects when you get, like you said, drunk on the technology. It's like, well, look, this used to be a person. Now I'm going to draw a big slug.
Which is what colorization was.
Right.
Colorization was, we can do this. We don't need to do that. Just because you can.
And they couldn't do it well. I bet you they could do it better now, but fortunately the idea has been dropped.
Yeah, no one's interested.
But I bet you they could nail it now. I bet you they could really make it look cool.
Well, now with the, and going back to George Lucas with Industrial Light and Magic, they could not only do the coloring, they could do the shading and all that stuff now probably much better because they do it with CG now. When they make a 3D model, they can get the lighting and the shadows, everything correct to match the film. But let's get into.
Of those, I just want to say, It's a Wonderful Life. You were saying it's like overlong and
overrated. I really do. I think it's the kind of thing, and I'm not. I'm not I don't slam Frank Capra's movies. He's a brilliant director, and I love Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I just think this one in particular, I think the hype is more than the substance.
Well, it's more long. It's longer than anyone has time for sure. Like it's a movie that when you're flipping around, you're like, oh, there they are falling into the swimming pool, or or there's the angel gets its wings line. You catch moments of it, and it's certainly charming. And
now he's sitting behind a giant desk, and he's sitting lower.
It's so heavy though, too. Also, like even though it's happy at the end, you go through a lot of shit. Whereas on the other hand, I say the original Miracle on 34th Street is probably, if I had to name one absolutely Christmas themed favorite Christmas movie, it would be that, and mostly because Edmund Gwenn is great as Santa Claus, and Natalie Wood is great as the little girl, and then they remade that. Mm-hmm. Our boy John Hughes remade Miracle on 34th Street, with like Dylan McDermott and what's her name, Elizabeth. She was on Weeds. Perkins
was the big reveal at the end still the post office.
It was still the same thing where all the letters showed up, and then that proved in a court of law that Santa's real because people write letters to him.
Right, and the post office delivers them.
To the courthouse.
Yes, to the court.
Where they heard Santa was on trial. It's but it's still it's uplifting that happens at the end. And spoiler alert for anyone who's going to go check it out right now.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
this movie that came out 70.
You've only had it's been since 1947. So now, what about let's talk briefly because we love the TV specials. I know we talk about the movies, but I think the best holiday specials are these classic ones like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Grinch, and even the Peanuts one. I mean, they're so awesome. Every single
even
one.
The Peanuts one.
Well, no,
because it gets so religious at the end with Linus directly quoting the Bible.
Yes, that's my favorite part. But
that part is moving, and it's a good speech, but it's also
Jesus is the reason for the season.
What's fascinating about it is if that there's no way that would get made now. And the only reason it's still getting shown every year is because people love it, and it's really more about him getting a shitty tree. And and what the season as far as that goes, Goodwill.
I mean, I would be curious to talk to somebody who's 19, 20 years old or whatever. Who, I mean, did they grow up? Because that's a big part of why I liked them. And it sounds like you guys too, is because you grew up. It's a part you remember that as a part of your childhood watching those every year. So
the Grinch is the same way.
Yeah, it holds up pretty good though, because when all the kids just want to dance instead of rehearsing, all those little dance moves they do, people imitate those all the time.
Yeah,
and Snoopy's really funny in that one, and it's also just lots of it's very serene. There's lots of the music is beautiful. I love hearing all the music from it around the holidays.
And there's also good lines too, like when they're talking about Beethoven wasn't so great.
Yeah.
What do you mean he wasn't great? You got the one kid playing the piano all the time. Beethoven, not that great.
Not that great.
And then the other ones, like same thing with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's just there's so much, the way they keep playing it every year.
Nobody likes a Charlie in the box.
It stays in the lexicon, the Island of Misfit Toys, and I Want to Be a Dentist, and
the toys get rolled out every year too. There's always, every time you go to get like a new ornament, there's like a new Rudolph one or something, or and it keeps it alive in merchandising in a weird way too. Every time these shows come out again, but they're great for a reason. Like when they were made, no one was thinking, we could sell the toys, or the ornaments after this. They wanted to make really cool specials.
I always wonder though if Rudolph, after that first time flying around and
that's how you adapt.
What?
I was going to say that's how you adapt Dr. Seuss. We were talking about that before. That this is a classic adaptation of Dr. Seuss, whereas those movies have been horrible. The Grinch.
The Grinch, yeah. But I was going to say about Rudolph that I wonder if Rudolph re-ups the next year on Christmas, or if he just goes ahead and leads this, because everybody hates him and treats him like shit until he saves their asses at the last minute.
Yeah,
and he never rubs their faces in it. He's never
rubbed their noses in it.
Yeah, I almost said that. But that would be a fun sequel. Like the next year, Rudolph is, refusing to go unless they give him a better deal.
Yeah.
Rudolph's holding out for a better contract. Sorry, dicks, you were assholes last year.
You were such jerks to me.
Go fly in this storm, bitches. He starts his own sleigh company.
Yeah. Yeah, so
flies around with Fred Claus.
Vince
Vaughn movie I liked.
I never find it that satisfying, the ending of that, because for that very reason.
Fred Claus.
Yeah, no. Fred Claus doesn't have a satisfying ending.
Feels contrived.
That's another thing that I guess we could blame Elf for Fred Claus.
Of course.
Because once you have a thing that's a hit with because Elf had a lot of elves in it, and they went to the North Pole at one point, right?
Yep.
Bob Newhart is Santa in that one.
Paul Giamatti, though, plays a pretty good Santa Claus.
Paul Giamatti plays a pretty good everything. That guy's always makes something worth watching. Even like
Duets.
What was that? Big Fat Liar was one of his first movies.
But
he's Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Munoz is in that? Oh, my God. But Duets, the karaoke movie with
Paltrow
I forgot about
Huey
that
Lewis.
Yeah.
Andre Brower.
Say
Andre
no
Brower.
more.
How many people can you name from it?
It's a horrible movie, but he has a great scene in it where he's like...
I would never, if that was on Leonard Maltin, I would never get that movie.
Not a big... What's your favorite karaoke? Let's do a karaoke movie themed. Is that okay? Duets, and then what else? That's it.
Yeah,
all right, what other holiday movies before we
wrap it up?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, love Nightmare Before Christmas. That was one of the movies I bought twice. First on DVD and Blu-ray, hello. And I got the Blu-ray. But what I love is they added like all of Tim Burton's old movies onto there, his short films.
Oh, Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie, but which everyone thinks is great, but Vincent is better. That's like his first one before that. Well, the Frankenweenie he's actually making into a feature, an animated movie now. But Vincent is fantastic. Where a kid who thinks he's Vincent Price, and that movie, that's another one that just holds up. I mean, it's got fun songs. It gets re-released, and there's a whole culture and toy market for it every single year that we're buying, not the kids as much.
I love Tim Burton's sensibility and his drawing and like the way,
and he'd even direct
the way things look, and Henry Selick, I guess, but that whole style, I didn't go to the Tim Burton exhibit over it.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was, and anybody listening, if that exhibit comes anywhere near you, go see it because you see the dolls and stuff and everything from A Nightmare Before Christmas. The sketches, it's spectacular. Like to really get inside his process.
But it's stuff from his whole career. Yeah, and you don't have to sit through any of his shitty movies.
No, you don't. Any of the bad ones you don't got to watch.
Because I have such a love-hate relationship with him because I really, especially in the early going, Pee-wee, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but it's more 80-20 with Tim Burton. When he makes a bad movie, it's a bad movie, but there's less of them at least.
I guess so. I find more misses than hits, and even the ones that I think are good. I think there's just he's not a great storyteller.
Well, he actually addressed that once in an interview when he said that's the way he makes movies. He said, "I'm more interested in evoking a feeling or emotion than hitting a plot point." And that actually comes through.
And then he hammers in the plot point in the remake of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, another abomination.
Never ask him to do remakes. You've got Planet of the Apes, Willy Wonka. They were horrible films.
At least Planet of the Apes, he didn't hammer in that Willy Wonka's dad was a dentist. Yeah, Fuck that. His dad is a dentist. Who cares? He's a crazy man who has a chocolate factory. It doesn't have to be driven to it by some horrible thing in the past.
Oh,
we get Charlie Bucket's backstory.
That's all we need.
The story is you find out he's poor, his whole family lives in one bed, and then they go to the factory. That's how it should work.
And Planet of the Apes, he didn't hammer anything. He just hammered away all of the good plot points and the social commentary from the original, and that stupid ending. Spoiler alert. Oh, he's back in a monkey. Oh, God damn.
If you're going to remake Planet of the Apes, what you do is you
don't do it.
First of all, that's step one. Don't do it. Then when you go ahead and do it, because that's where I was going. Step two would be to
make Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Well, that's where they've also gone wrong. Is I haven't seen all of it. I saw the first 20 minutes of it, and I hate the way the monkeys look. It drives me crazy that all the actors are interacting with something that's not there, or is Andy Serkis sitting there making a face. The monkeys don't look real ever. They look CGI.
Really?
To me,
I thought they looked okay.
but I never
didn't
think
bother me.
Gollum looks real. I never think most things like that. Like Dobby in the Harry Potter movies always drove me crazy. I think that stuff just looks fake still to my eyes. You know, I like practical effects. Like I like
always look
you know,
better.
like Yoda when he was a puppet was better than Yoda when he's CGI.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a
You know,
doubt.
it's just got more. The puppeteer
couldn't
brings
do it.
more personality
But
to
he couldn't
it.
do a somersault.
Right, but don't get me started on how amazing Yoda is as a fighter in that, and then and then in stories that take place later, he stands around
Eating.
He stands around fighting over a stick.
Yeah.
God damn it! But he becomes a completely different person. But anyway, the
you don't
point
know
I
what
was
happened.
trying to make about
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton is just that he does insist on some story sometimes, and it's very misguided.
But back to the theme of this show, A Nightmare Before Christmas
Is great.
an
Is a
excellent-
classic.
Is an excellent
It's
film.
delightful. I went and saw the 3D version at the El Capitan last year.
Oh, how was it?
And it's stupid because the movie wasn't made in 3D. It was made in a format where everything kind of has some depth anyway, and nothing juts out at you. So watching it in 3D with the glasses on was ridiculous.
But didn't they add like fog and spray with water in certain points? Like,
it wasn't at Disneyland.
yeah. Well, no, that's how they advertise it. They said in 4D. They call it atmosphere effects.
Oh, maybe they did stuff maybe it was 2 years ago when I saw it, but
Okay.
whenever I saw it, it was just they'd only painted on 3D.
Oh, so they didn't add
And-
the extra layer.
And
So
they didn't
maybe last year.
mist on me or anything like
Right.
that. But I enjoy that movie because I like the visuals and the music so much. I mean, it's almost like a musical, and it certainly has maybe the least amount of story of anything that Tim Burton did, short of Pee Wee Herman trying to find his bike.
And even so, it's one of those movies that only Tim Burton can pull that off. Where when you have such a thin kind of story, it's so imaginative, it just draws you in.
Yeah, but you see Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, I did, and that was the opposite of what I'm talking about.
It's the opposite that goes the different direction. Well,
It's like, oh, well, we're going to set up the story with a beginning, middle, and end. And, okay, well, now we're at the beginning. She has to fight the Jabberwocky. Now we have 90 minutes until we get there. How are we going to fill that?
With me sleeping.
Yes. But anyway, the Christmas movies, I said, let's real quick go around. What favorite Christmas movie?
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm gonna go with Scrooged. I'm going to stick with Scrooged. It's my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, so see that, rent it, and then tell Graham what you really think of it.
On the message
Just
board.
like
I'd be
Tree of
interested
Life.
to know, like, what somebody that, like, because also when Scrooge came out, I was like 1,000% on Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like so in love with him
Anything
and
he
anything
did
he did
at that point.
And then that was the first movie, and maybe that drama he did, that Razor's Edge thing. But Scrooge was one of the first ones where I started to go, oh, maybe maybe he's not foolproof. Maybe you can't just stick him in anything and it'll be the most hilarious thing you've ever seen. But it does have really, really good stuff in there. It's just, it's directed by Richard Donner, who has never to me been like a great comedy director. It's more of an action guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would be interested to hear what people have to say about that. For my favorite, I'm going with Christmas with the Clumps. just because I remembered what it's actually called.
What'd you call it? The Clump Parade or something? What'd you call it?
Let's hear it for the
Let's
Clumps.
hear it for the Clumps, everybody.
We never even mentioned the ref.
Does that take place at Christmas?
Oh my God.
People, whenever I say disparaging things about Dennis Leary or hostage crisis movies, people always bring up the ref as like an example of, no, but what about the ref? And I can't stand the ref.
It was.
I did not like that at all.
You
And
know
I
what?
love Kevin Spacey and what's her name, Judy.
Annette Bening.
No, Judy. I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Judy Davis.
Judy Davis.
You know what? That was the kind of movie where I felt actually it didn't go in either direction. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was, this was kind of mediocre, but it was, people were
much potential there, I felt.
Yeah, and people were so polarized on it. Either loved it or hated it. But I thought it was.
I always
mediocre.
hate movies where people are just yelling and arguing the whole time. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to go with Elf or Nightmare Before Christmas. I think
Nice.
it's my favorite ones.
Well, folks, we're going to play a little Leonard Maltin, but while Doug gets that teed up, Put your favorite holiday movie picks on the message boards. We'd love to hear what you guys think.
And I'm sure you have some that we haven't talked about too. And if anybody's seen like stuff like Holiday Inn or White Christmas, those are very
White Christmas
very
is
old.
good. That's Bing Crosby. That's classic singy stuff. That's good business.
And if you know how to get a hold of the Star Wars Christmas special,
Oh my God!
If you can find
you
that,
guys owe each other a Coke.
Yeah, that's got to be online somewhere or somewhere in somebody's basement. I remember that.
If anyone I'll tell you what. If anyone has a copy of that and can somehow get Chris and I a copy of that,
That was a huge deal when that came out. Everyone was so excited about
it's
that.
such an
and
insane piece of shit.
Yeah, I've only seen
It's like
bad VHS versions of it. Like I don't know if there's a really good.
It's up there with Shatner,
clear version of it.
singing Rocket Man. I mean, it's on par with how insane it is.
But the Rocket Man thing was insane in a way that we now cherish.
Yeah, I know. That's why we need to see this. If anyone has a copy of this, please let us know, and maybe
this one, even Georgia Lucas is going, you know what? I can't even show that to anybody.
I can't fix that.
Yeah. That's what he should do is remake it.
Oh my God, remake the Christmas special.
Great idea.
Oh my God, we're gonna shoot our own Star Wars Christmas special when we launch our YouTube site.
That's a great idea.
We're gonna do
All
that.
right, we'll do it.
All right, let's play Leonard Maltin.
Let's do it.
Doug Lug Movies crossover episode.
Now, I just want to say real briefly, every time we play this, it
lose.
goes one way. Yes, I lose, but it always goes, you get one, I get one, and then I lose. I'm going to try to break the trend.
I'm gonna get both.
Yeah, hopefully not break it where you win in 2 rounds.
All right, we're playing at 2 points. Chris Mancini versus Graham Elwood.
Mancini.
The Italian pronunciation.
Mancini.
Aye, a calzone.
I'm going to stop you there before it starts to sound Irish. Would you like as a category, we'll start with you, Chris. Would you like as a category New Year's Eve? That's movies that have a scene or two or all of them that take place on New Year's Eve. Would you like top build? This was submitted on Twitter by @mjohnny3. Top build. That's a movie where the top build performer in the movie, according to Leonard Maltin, is also named Bill. Or would you like, since this is the holiday special? Oh no, we did that one the other night with Graham, so I gotta exclude that one. So let's move on to, since this is the holiday special, doggone it, movies where a dog gets killed.
It's a very special Christmas.
I'm going to go top build.
Top build.
Top build performer in this movie is
User-submitted content.
It's good
Yeah,
business.
is named Bill. It's from 1991. 2.5 stars from Leonard Maltin. I'd probably agree with that assessment. He says that the character played by a person named Bill, who is top billed, he says about this character that he is rough and ready. And he also says that the movie has a makeup effect by Rick Baker. Terrible clues. The year is 1991, and there are 10 names listed.
And one of the top 3.
The top person is someone, a man or a woman, named Bill.
Oh, it could be a woman who...
Could be Scrooged.
Yeah, it could be...
Because Bill Murray was rough and ready, and I'm sure there was some makeup in that movie done by Rick Baker. Rick Baker made Buster Poindexter look like a ghost cab driver.
Where he tried to make him not look like a ghost. I'm going to get... This is a tough one. I'm going to have to start easy. I'm going to go 8. 8 names.
I'll go 6.
I'll do 5.
Is that the time you're out of time?
Christmas is almost here, Graham.
Ho, ho, ho. May need your answer.
Santa's double parked outside. We need you to tell us.
Yeah.
You said 5 names?
I did.
I will say... Name that movie. I got you, you son of a bitch. I knew it.
I was hoping you were going to go 4.
I could read your face.
All right. I hope these names...
I'm going to have to turn the other way.
I hope these names help you.
No, just wear a bag.
Yeah.
You want the clues again?
Sure, they were so helpful.
2.5 stars. 1991 is the year. The character played by Bill someone is Rough and Ready. It's the lead character in the movie. And also there is some makeup courtesy of Makeup Whiz. That's what Leonard calls him, Makeup Whiz, Rick Baker.
Ricky Bakes, Dickie Baker.
Yeah.
All right.
And there are 10 names total. You get 4?
No, 5. I was
5.
hoping he would go 4.
That's right. He zigged when you wanted to zag.
Yeah, I did.
That reminds me, I've got a zigzag.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your 5 names. You might get there. Probably not. Melora Hardin, Tiny Ron, James Handy. He was great on the set in between takes. You could get it. He was giving out handies. Ed Lauter. Lauter, some people pronounce it Lauter. And you know him from Lost, Mr. Terry O'Quinn.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to go...
Graham's making he's glad he doesn't have to guess face.
Jesus.
This is a tough one. You really stepped in it. Every
I know.
step of the way. If you picked the wrong category.
Well, maybe I got it out of the way on the first round.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'm going to have to... I wonder if it's
Does any of that ring a bell?
None whatsoever. Oh, there it is.
Does any of that ring a sleigh bell?
I'm going to go with... It was Year of Living Dangerously with William Holden.
What?
No.
William Holden?
I really-
was
Wait,
the
did I
Year
say-
of Living Dangerously?
Oh, man. No,
With Mel
that's
Gibson?
wrong. Yeah, with Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, Sigourney Weaver, and
No.
Linda, Academy Award winner Linda
I just
Hunt.
totally... Wow.
You
I brain farted on
yeah,
that one. Yeah.
It's William Bill Holden.
Yeah.
Could you crack a window? Because
Yeah,
that brain
one
fart
hurt.
is stinking
I
up
was
the
going to
place.
do Razor's Edge with Bill Murray,
Yeah, that's good.
but
But it is
no.
someone named Bill.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that even gives away the name, because this is a tough
Read
one.
some more names.
I'll just tell you who the Bill is.
Okay.
And see if that gives you the answer. Bill Campbell.
Bill Campbell?
Mostly a TV actor. Was in one movie.
Max Headroom.
That was kind of a big deal. Also starred Paul Sorvino, Timothy Dalton, Alan Arkin,
What?
and Jennifer Connelly.
With Rick Baker effects.
Film buffs will get a kick out of the Rondo Hatton-esque bad guy, courtesy of makeup whiz Rick Baker.
Oh,
Campbell.
was this Rocketeer?
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
It's too bad. It's too bad one of the lower names listed wasn't Rick Overton. Would that have tipped it for you?
No,
because he's
Jennifer
the one
Con-
that goes. He's the Rocketeer.
Jennifer Connelly would have done it. If Jennifer Connelly was lower down, I would have gotten
Yeah,
it.
if you'd have gotten.
Well, you broke
9
your,
out of
your
10
streak
names.
of... no, you didn't. You lost that
No,
one,
no,
too.
I lost it.
Well, Graham's got a point, but we could still. We're playing to 2.
Would you have gotten that one?
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay, Graham, you get to pick category. Would you like? Let's see here. You know Edgar Wright's on my show quite a bit.
Yes, I do.
and he's got a festival coming up at the New Beverly Cinema here in Los Angeles, where he is going to show movies he has never seen that are considered by many to be classics, and that he needs to get it together. So the category is Edgar hasn't seen it. So that could be a tough category. And then this is a kind of a fun new category I've been doing. It was submitted by someone named @Asparagus. He later explained to me that it's Asparagus P is what the joke of his name is, but I like to call him Asparagus. And
Latin pronunciation.
yeah, and this category is called Zero Names. And that's where if you choose this category, you get to go first, but you have to start at 0 names. So I will read the entire review to you. And then you could say 0 names, but if the other guy knows it, he can go -1, -2, -3, however many names from the movie he thinks he can name.
And remember now, Chris, negative, you have to list in order of billing.
Yeah, but
From
it's
the top.
From the top. So it's the biggest star first. Okay.
Yeah, like Bill Campbell.
Like Bill Campbell, yeah.
Like the great Bill Campbell. So we've got 0 names category. Edgar hasn't seen it. And then your third choice, Graham L, would be Raptors. Let me see.
Rappers?
Raptors.
Okay.
That's rappers who act in movies. Yeah. A movie with a rapper in it.
Oh, I thought it was the dinosaur.
No. That's the play on words we were going for.
You know what?
Whoever submitted this one.
I'm going to go with Raptors.
Okay. This movie has a raptor in it, at least one. It's from 1993. Leonard Maltin gives it 2 stars. He says about this movie that it's ambitious but fatally pretentious. And he also says that there's an actress in the film who is okay, capital OK, in her screen debut. It's got an actress making her screen debut. It's ambitious but fatally pretentious. Has a rapper who acts in it. 2 stars, 1993. And there are 11 names. Since Chris lost the point, we'll start with Chris. How many names did you even get in?
I'm going to start low again. Do 9.
7.
I'm going to do 6.
5.
All right, name the movie.
Boom.
You guys are crazy. That was some crazy bidding. I'm favoring him on this one.
All right.
But we'll see. You want the clues again?
Yep.
2 stars, 93, ambitious but fatally pretentious. Actress in it is okay in her screen debut. And the 5 names are Lori Petty, Billy Zane, Tone Loc, Q-Tip, and Roger Guenveur Smith. Guenveur, Guenveur, Guenveur. Roger Guenveur Smith. Graham Elwood, what do you think it is?
Lori Petty. Oof.
So a whole lot of confusion in all of what I just said.
Yeah. That totally messed me up.
Where were you going to go before Lori Petty came
I
up?
was going to go with New Jack City.
That's incorrect.
I got better reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leonard might have. You never know with Len. Marches to the beat of his own.
I was going to go either New Jack City or Juice, but because those all came around the same time.
Great guesses. Both incorrect.
1993.
How long can we drag this out?
Lori Petty.
Did those guesses count, or what? What's
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Wait a
How
minute.
many do you get? All right, Chris gets the point.
All right, Point Break.
Wait, wait. Let me ask. Was it directed by John Singleton?
Yes, it was.
What did it have? Janet Jackson in it?
Yes.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Merry Christmas.
Oh, God damn it!
Finally, some poetic justice.
Was it about poetry? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. The Raptor, it has several Raptors in it, but this one specifically I was speaking of was Tupac Shakur,
Right.
who plays a. I guess she's like a mailman lady in it.
Yeah.
and he
He was also in Juice.
flips out and does something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
all right.
This is it.
R.I.P. Tupac.
So
Wrap
far-
this episode up. This is the last one.
Same exact pattern so
Same
far.
exact-
Let's see if we can break it.
All right, here we go. This will be going to Graham since Chris just got the point. And you get to pick between the following categories. Let's do 0 names again. Then we also have Yes, Ma'am. Oh, Jesus. Just got a call coming in from Todd Glass.
Todd Glass, answer that phone. Take the phone call, put it on speaker.
I already hit decline.
Damn it.
I can call him back if you want.
Yeah.
You want this episode to drag on forever. Yes, Ma'am is the name of the category, and that's a film starring Sam the Ma'am Levine. And when I say starring, I mean he's in them. And then we already went with 0 again, right? And so I need a third one, which will be, this was submitted by someone named Gloshi, Gloshi, Gloshi at Gloshi on Twitter. And his category is Inspect Her Gadget. And it's movies that feature a gynecologist. So what would you like, Graham? Would you like 0 Names, Gynecology, or Sam Levine?
Jesus Christ. I guess I'll go Sam Levine because he's been a guest on this show.
Okay. He's been in some movies. This is going to come down to whichever one of you blinks first.
Oh, man.
The one who's forced to name it is going to be in trouble. 1.5 stars from Leonard Maltin for this 2006 movie. Well, this is going to be hilarious because Sam listens to the show and he's definitely going to know the answer.
I would hope if he was in it.
He always knows the answer, but now he's going to be extra double mad that you guys can't figure it out. 1.5 stars, 2006. Leonard says about this movie that it's unexpectedly epic-minded, and he also says that it's nearly incomprehensible.
Good work, Sam.
And Sam Levine is in this movie, and Leonard lists 7 names. How many names do you think you can get it in, Graham? Nice category choice.
I will go with 5.
Just name it.
Just name it.
Because it's like chess. If you went 4, he's going to make you name it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know it, so there's nowhere to run.
But I'm starting to finally learn that.
Yeah,
for playing the game enough time. It took me a long time to figure that out.
The first time we played with Jackie Cation, I think it was actually on Doug Love's Movies, you kept going -5 or whatever. You were like, Chris.
And I got the first one right. And then after that was forget it.
Okay, so, and I hope everyone listens to your show has at least heard my show once or heard us do this before, because we didn't really explain this at all. We just started playing. It's the Leonard Maltin iPhone app if you want to get it and enjoy playing with your friends. Or you
By
can
the way,
do what I used to do and just get his book and just flip through the book.
If you ever come see Doug and I perform, we always play this with an audience member on stage at the end of the show.
That reminds me, yes, that we do that. And
all right, quit stalling. Name that movie.
I got to give him the names. Let me give you the clues again real fast. 1.5 stars from Leonard. He says about this movie that it's unexpectedly epic-minded and nearly incomprehensible.
Okay, let's do it. We got to wrap this show up.
Okay, and you get 5 names, and they are Ron Rifkin.
I'm a big Ron Rifkin fan.
From another J.J. Abrams show called Alias. Sam Levine.
Okay.
He's got billing in there. Jonathan Tucker. Rick Gonzalez. And Christina Milian, who I believe is that cute singer girl who Matthew McConaughey.
You're thinking of Mulan.
Matthew McConaughey shoots her with an arrow and an apple on her head in the opening scene of Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. Oh. Speaking of Christmas Carol remakes, they went a whole different way with it. It's not about Christmas at all.
At all, nope.
But it stole the whole
ghost thing. This is Step Up.
Sam Levine's in Step Up?
Yeah.
I've never seen him spin on his head, but maybe he can.
Wait a minute, did I win?
You just won.
I think you just won.
Finally won one.
All right, now let me ask this: is this directed by Darren Aronofsky?
No.
No, then I don't know what it is. I was thinking it might be like The Fountain.
Ian Somerhalder.
Oh, okay.
And Kristen Bell is the lead.
What?
In this movie.
That's right. Sam does a lot of pieces of shit that go direct to video.
It's a remake of a Japanese film called Kairo, Kairo, Kairo.
Is this a horror movie?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's supposed to be ghostly creatures emerge from computers and other machines to drain the will to live or something from human victims, driving them to suicide or turning them into
This sounds like a
soot. They get turned into soot.
This is a Sci-Fi Channel movie. This isn't a
This
real film.
naturally leads to the collapse of civilization. Unexpectedly epic-minded horror movie is occasionally eerie, but more often dull and nearly incomprehensible.
The name of the
unrated version runs 90 minutes. The theatrical was a brief 87 minutes, and it was called Pulse.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. I remember that coming out. I don't remember anyone who saw it.
All right.
I know I didn't.
Damn it. I'll get
I
that.
bet Sam saw it.
Put that in my Netflix
He
queue.
was at the premiere.
That doesn't mean he saw it.
Well, that was our show, everybody. That was an outstanding program of holiday films.
Yes, and we'd like to thank our guest, Doug Benson. And Doug, where can people find you on the line?
Yeah, DougLovesMovies.com. And Graham, could you write down for me? Can I quickly name a shithead since you lost?
yeah.
The loser on my show always gets to name somebody as that episode's shithead. Or you could just say it, I guess.
I'll just say Chris Mancini is a shithead.
Wait a second. All right, now make it official. I have to say it. As always, Chris Mancini is a shithead. Thanks for having me on your show,
yeah,
Chris.
Sure. That didn't feel insulting at all. That's what was so weird.
It's a pat on the back. It's like a badge of honor. You're a shithead. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's what the athletes say it all the time.
Yeah.
Like up on the podium,
Like good game?
like the second,
Yeah.
like the silver medal, look at the gold and go, nice one, shithead.
You know, when you see guys slap each other on the ass or something like that, it's like
In the locker room?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what a shithead. Then they go have man sex.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Doug Mancini. So where can people find you again? Doug Loves Movies.
DougLovesMovies.com has all my tour dates and tons of past episodes of Doug Loves Movies that you can buy in bulk.
And we'll do a little teaser right now. Doug Benson graciously doing the preface to our book, Comedy Film Nerds Guide to Movies.
He's doing the preface to Comedy Film Nerds Guide to Movies. Also,
I was going to say something to you about that. I forgot how to write.
I lost my fingers.
I watch movies too much. I don't know how to write words down on anything.
And as it is the holiday shopping season, we have, Doug just did it right before we recorded this episode, autographed copies of Potty Mouth and all of his other CDs. Hypocritical Oath, Professional Humoridian.
And we've got a lot of free stuff for you guys, too. You buy gift packs. We've got Comedy Central water bottles. We've got Woot Monkeys. We've got some special Woot Monkeys, too. In fact, if you spend $100 in the store, you get a special Christmas sock Woot Monkey.
Yeah, big ones. They're big sock.
And if you spend $10,000, they'll send you a refrigerator.
You know what? We will. If you spend $10,000 in the store, we will send you a refrigerator.
We got in the garage, and
Yeah.
we'll give you Chris's gargoyle for $10,000.
And we will sign it.
Yeah.
We'll sign the fridge.
Yeah, and if you have a good copy of the Star Wars Christmas special, you get to be a guest on the show. So
It's got to be a good copy, though, because I've only seen it kind of in blurry vision.
yeah, you have
Yes.
like a good copy.
And it has to be colorized.
It has to be colorized, of course. Well, thank you again, Doug Benson. My name is Graham Elwood. You can all my tour dates are at grahamelwood.com, and also
And soon to be on the Comedy Film Nerd site, too. You can go
Yes.
there and see everybody's
yes,
dates soon.
absolutely. So yeah, Afghanistan, all that stuff is available. Chris.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the store. Really appreciate you guys stepping up and really supporting the podcast by spending, like we tell everyone, spend $20 a year in the store to really support
Once
the
a year.
podcast. And then now with Christmas coming up, if you haven't done it already, yes, come on, little bell, helping you out with your shopping decisions. Remember Black Thursday? You want to make sure you shop a lot and often. And always, my book, Pacify Me, Handbook for the Freaked Out New Dad, is available, and my DVD, Myopic Vision. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Doug Benson. My name is Graham Elwood.
I'm Chris Mancini, and as always, remember,
Han shot first.
and wasn't a shithead.
It was not a shithead. George Lucas, shithead.